Hey, you guys. So I've been thinking a lot lately about the idea of keeping things simple. Most of my life has been focused on building systems and trying to keep things as simple and concise as possible. And I know a lot of people, their head doesn't work that way, but it's just sort of what comes naturally to me. As a songwriter, it was always this sort of very tight pop structure, regardless of what kind of music I'm playing. I mean, when Junkyard was in the studio doing our first record, we're working with this amazing producer named Tom Werman. And every time Tom does a record with somebody, their songs get noticeably better because he's really good at arranging and taking your ideas and making them tighter. And when he sat down and worked with me on our songs, he was going I don't know, there's nothing we can leave out of this. Maybe we need to add some stuff and stretch it out a little bit. And that keeping things simple idea, the great thing about simple is that simple is hard. It's hard to get something simple and right. If something's simple and wrong, it reveals itself pretty quickly. But if what I'm doing is very complicated, or my belief system is very complicated, or the project I'm working on is very complicated, and part of it's a little bit wrong, it'll be very hard to spot, first, that something is wrong, and second, where the wrong part is. And so I'm trying to keep both my ideas and the things I'm working on and what's in front of me, and even my belief systems, as simple and concise as possible. There's a couple of projects I'm working on, and every once in a while, I find it next to impossible to make movement on what I'm working on. It's like I'm stuck. And most of the time, it's because the next step that I've given myself to move this project forward is too big and it's too complicated. And if I will break that next step down into smaller pieces, simpler actions, eventually I will end up with an action that's so simple that it's easy to take. And that philosophy, I'm coming back to it because I keep giving myself things that are too big to do and getting confused and thinking that there's something wrong with me and yada, yada, yada. So trying to keep things simple. Does life seem super complicated? Does it seem a little hopeless sometimes because there's so many moving pieces and I don't know how the hell I'm going to affect anything? I don't know. I can't even tell if I'm making forward progress. If that's the case, maybe take a look at what you're doing and see if it can be broken into smaller, more simple ideas or more simple actions, and see if that kind of helps move things forward. I know it's working for me. And it's really been helpful to come back to this idea of keeping things simple, because if I get it down to its simplest components, whatever the flaws in my thinking are generally reveal themselves. And it's just easier to keep moving forward. And, being able to slide up to that 10,000-foot view instead of being mired down in the details, screw seeing the forest for the trees. I can't see the trees for the bark. So I'm trying to learn how to keep things simple again. Anyway, it's just one of the things that I've been thinking about. Hope your day is going better than you think it is. I'll see you soon.